GB News can reveal that a local Labour group is under fire after promoting a counter-protest in Aldershot in favour of housing asylum seekers in hotels.
It comes as the government published the first pictures of its new returns deal with France, where almost 400 small boat migrants have crossed the Channel since this deal was signed.
Now, we're joined in the studio by our Home and Security Editor, Mark White. Mark, great to be with you. Let's go straight to that operational deal recently signed. What effect is it having so far, and how long will it take for us to see a significant reduction?
Well, no effect so far. It looked like business as usual when I was down in Dover yesterday, to the point, in fact, where in the evening, despite horrific conditions in the Channel, really big swells because of winds blowing down the Channel, the migrant people smugglers put out a boat containing 83 migrants, absolutely crammed. And in fact, there had to be 2 lifeboats and a Border Force vessel all involved in trying to pull these migrants from that boat onto the Border Force vessel because of the conditions. So clearly, they don't give 2 hoots. What you're looking at here are the images that were released from the Home Office yesterday showing the first cohort of asylum seeker migrants who've come across the English Channel. Coming up the gangway there, this is at Dover Harbour at the Western Jetfoil, where the Border Force vessels first land these migrants after they make the illegal crossing. And then we got another piece of video that will show you the migrants as they make the next part of the journey after they've been medically assessed there and triaged. They head to Manston. That Manston facility here is much bigger in terms of the operation. The migrants are normally there for about 48 hours. And the facilities there are really to determine, assess who these people are. So you get biometric data, fingerprints, DNA taken to try to get a handle on who on earth these people are. Because we don't know who they are. We don't know the threat that they potentially could pose to the UK. And then I think we've got some more video that shows the cohort of migrants being sent off to immigration detention. So they're going off to immigration removals and detention facilities. Normally they would be off to a 4-star hotel near you. You can see them. We think that this is near Heathrow Airport, the removal centre at Harmondsworth there. It certainly looks like that to me. And so a bit of a rude awakening for them, thinking they're off to their 4-star hotel or their house of multiple occupation has become, increasingly common. But this cohort, we don't know the exact numbers, but it's likely to be pretty small, are destined for France. If they can get through the legal hoops, if France accept them, and of course, if the human rights lawyers and activist groups don't decide to scupper it all in the courts.
Using the internet without a VPN, a virtual private network, is a bit like taking to the road without car insurance. All it takes is one unlucky moment to cost you a lot of cash. This video's sponsor is Private Internet Access. They are the VPN to help keep you safe. Click the link in the description below to find out why over 30 million people have downloaded PIA to protect themselves online. A virtual private network is an app that hides your IP address and helps keep your data private. When you're browsing the internet at home, you give up a large amount of data to businesses, to shops, and indeed to social media giants too. Hackers have the ability to steal your personal data with ease, including sensitive information such as passwords, keystrokes, and even your personal photos. Private Internet Access helps protect your personal data by encrypting your internet connection to keep your data out of the hands of cybercriminals. And it's not just hackers either to be concerned about. Information can be censored too. When Canada passed their C-18 bill, social media giants decided to ban news content on their platforms. But PIA can protect your ability to consume the news and content you love. Private Internet Access is available for Windows users, Mac OS, Android, Linux, iOS, and you can use one PIA subscription to protect an unlimited amount of devices. And we've got a huge GB News discount for you too. Click the link in this video's description and you'll get a massive 83% off PIA. That's under £2 a month, the price of a coffee, and you'll get an extra 4 months completely free on top. Also, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee too. Visit piavpn.com/GB News to start protecting yourself digitally today.
Well, as you said there, Mark, there's quite a few ifs there. And I spoke to some Conservative MPs who actually said, perhaps you'll say, of course they would say that actually this policy risks the numbers of migrants going up because people smuggling gangs will use this policy as advertising. They'll say the chance of you actually getting deported is so slim because of all those ifs that you mentioned there, it'll actually attract more people over the channel. Do you think that is a risk?
Well, it's certainly possible. I can tell you exactly what people smugglers are already saying to those potential customers down in northern France. They're saying that if you get, in the minute chance of you being returned to France, if you get returned to France, we guarantee we will give you a free ride back over to the UK.
It does always feel as though the government is sort of 10 steps behind these people smugglers. Whichever government is in power, these people smugglers are so agile. They are business people. They know what they're doing. They're all over TikTok. And the government's sort of reacting, but just too late.
It's a global industry worth billions. And as far as the channel's concerned, it's been a phenomenon now for 7 years. They've had a long time to embed themselves into that area, to get robust supply lines and to figure out, I mean, they even employ weather forecasters, meteorologists, to give them the best possible chance of a boat being launched, making it across to the UK. They are very sophisticated.
Mark, we were speaking yesterday about footage being released because it is quite unique footage that they've given us. This government actually being quite open and sharing more footage of the immigration, detention and border force process. One of our viewers, Sue Austin on Your Say, points out that every single person in that footage appeared to be a man. There were just lots and lots of young men there. That's why we're grateful for them releasing this footage. It's going to do nothing to dissuade a lot of the anger that we're expecting to see at protests tonight and, of course, over the weekend at asylum hotels and other Home Office-approved premises right across the country.
Well, indeed. It's going to be another potentially tense weekend of multiple protests taking place at these migrant hotels with very real concerns because of incidents, reported incidents, some that are currently making their way through the court process, which have alarmed local people. And we understand in Aldershot, for instance, this evening, there will be a protest similar to what we saw at the Britannia Hotel at Canary Wharf at the weekend, where you get mums and children coming out wearing pink. They want it to be, a non-threatening illustration of the concerns that they have. They are saying to their supporters, no masks. That will not be necessarily the case on the other side, where you've got the counter-protest, and then a very ill-considered decision by the Labour group in this area to start pushing out these flyers, telling people to come along and to protest on behalf of the self-styled counter, racist protesters. We know that what they do, they are organised, very well organised, and the whole way in which they operate is to come and to challenge the other side, to shout them down, calling them neo-Nazis and racists and alike, just to up the tension at these events.
And that's what we've revealed this morning, Mark, isn't it? That the Labour group in Farnham sharing that counter-protest flyer. Now, in Aldershot earlier this year, there was footage revealed of the Hampshire Constabulary escorting some of those stand-up to racism, so-called counter-protesters, some of them masked. A lot of Aldershot locals saying to GB News last night and this morning that they're concerned about what could be happening this evening because of the promotion of that counter-protest by the local Labour group. And as we were just showing before, the protest flyer outside that hotel in Aldershot, where you've reported on previously, it's a pink protest. They're doing the same thing in Bracknell. They're promoting this idea that it's for families, for women, and so children can come along as well, trying to move it away from any insinuation that this could be a violent demonstration, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. They want to show that it's concerned mothers for their children, so mothers and children will be there. They are saying quite pointedly to those that turn up, do not wear masks. They don't want that to be the image that they put forward as they are trying to get that message of concern across. I think it's really ill-considered, I have to say, of this Labour group to do that. This is the governing party, and you've got communities right across the country who fear that there is two-tier operations in place, from policing through to the governance of this country, that sides with one particular group and not them, who have, they believe, very legitimate concerns about some of the issues of criminality that we're seeing springing up around these hotels.
Yeah, well, in response to that story, a Labour spokesperson told me last night that the government could not be clearer about what they were doing to tackle the small boats crisis and push back against criticism that it was siding with the hard left in this case.
Well, thank you very much, Mark White, for that, and we'll have the latest, as always, throughout the day on that developing story.